must have dozed off. Oh, I knew it was a mistake to sit down here. I only meant to sit down to rest my poor old legs, and before you know it, I'd nodded off. Oh, what time is it? Oh, it's no good looking at that clock. It's stopped. Oh, it's been stopped a long time by the looks of it. Oh, that's a nuisance. Oh, I shouldn't come back to the place really, but I like to come back, now and again to see the old place. I lived in this house. In fact, I was born here, up there, up them stairs. I was the last to be born here. All my brothers and sisters are older. I asked our Annie this one time, do you remember me being born? She said, yeah. Thought it were a cat meowing. Got in the house. Oh, well, that were a long time ago. Place has changed a bit since then. Oh, out there where all that grass is, there used to be allotments and that. And I'm sure there were this big shed or something like that. And I always thought my granddad lived in there because he always seemed to be coming out of it. Oh yeah, it were a big thing it were, but as big as this room. And it were a right mucky place. Well, it looked mucky because it were years old. Yeah, it were mucky. And he always used to be standing there as if he were going in or coming out of it. Oh, we were always in there. Spent hours in there. Oh yeah, we were always in there. Of course, back then there were all pits around here. Oh, my dad worked down the pit. I'm two of my brothers. Oh, yeah, they used to go to the pit at about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And they used to come home, and my dad would have a rice pudding every day of his life, because he said it used to clear the dust out of his throat. And they'd come back, have their dinner, and they'd go out again. And they used to dig up the allotments and that. Oh, they digged up all sorts. Well, it was Mr. and Mrs. Sharp's garden and orchard, but we used to do it. So we never went short. Oh, we always had fruit and veg. And of course there were some things that we couldn't grow ourselves, like bananas and that. But my dad's uncle kept a shop in Derby, and we used to go and visit, now and again. And if he had a banana, he'd give us one, and then we'd take it home, and my dad would take it all down Furnace Lane, showing all the kids, because they hadn't seen one before. And then when I were about, must have been about 9 or 10, this big coconut come through in the post. It was Bill Moore, and he was sent over to South Africa, and he was a favourite of ours, and he sent me this big coconut in the post, and it had my name on and my address, and it was all painted on, and it came through just like that. Oh, a big thing it were. And folks kept coming round because they hadn't seen a big one like that before. And a big thing with all matting on. And I must have been about 9 or 10, and people kept coming over. We had it for ages. And it came through in the post from Africa, and it was hard to break. It took some breaking, but it was full up, and it was given to all sorts, everybody. Kids my sort of age down Furnace Lane. That's not someone coming in here, is it? I don't know, wouldn't be sat here if they do. Oh, no, I don't think so. Not yet, anyway. Oh, Mr. Sharp, he used to think he owned the furnace. He always used to be running us. I mean, he always used to think we were pinching something out of his allotment, raspberries and that sort of thing. And if he heard kids' voices, he used to come running out, shouting and bellowing. And he used to, chase us away, and we used to run across over the spinney. Oh, I remember his pigeons and his canaries. Oh yeah, he sold one once, for about £100. £100? Well, that were a big deal in Moira. Yeah, folks used to come and look at his pigeons and canaries, and £100. That were like a million, but I hated them. No, I didn't like them at all. Well, a lot of men used to keep pigeons, and they used to race them, and they used to come back, fetch them and clock them in, and they used to come back to our house. Oh, it used to be about 8, 9 o'clock at night, and you'd have 4 or 5 blokes in your house going on about these pigeons, and they'd sit up on the sideboard, well, the pigeons, not the blokes, and they'd sit there and they'd go, look at that blue, because it were blue in colour, but they used to call it blue. And then they used to pie him and freckle him, but, well, I remember bits and bobs, but when you're a kid, you're flapping around, aren't you? Oh, well, we never went short. Not even in the war, because there were these Italians, prisoners of war, and they used to work over at Betteridge's farm in Akensford, and they used to make me toys, and they're good with their hands, and they used to make me little engines that I could sit on, and little trolleys that I could put things in, and I'd drag them along the floor. They used to paint them, all sorts of colours. And, well, they used to come round our house sometimes and cut our hairs. And they always used to say my brother had straight hair until the Italians started cutting it. Now it's always been wavy and curly. We used to have ATSs based over at Britain's Lodge, over the other side of the railway bridge. And the ordinary soldiers and the ATSs, they took over Spring Cottage over at the pipe yard. And they used to come over there because at the time the navigation in was a going concern with the young soldiers and the ATSs. And they used to have dances there every Saturday night, and you have to have dances upstairs, and there was hundreds of people there. Yeah, youngsters and all sorts. Because pretty much the navigation in was the main place to be at that time, and families used to be there. And they used to sort out the allotments and that, sort out the potatoes, and the pigeons would go there. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Humphreys used to keep that. Well, the young officers used to come over to our place to have their dinner sometimes, but because we had a big table, and my dad would sit there, and they'd sit there, and I'd sit there, you'd just slip in anywhere. We used to have ham and eggs and that sort of thing, and they used to think it were lovely, but we took it for granted because we never went short. Folks in them days used to keep pigs, you see. Oh, is that one of them coming now? Oh, I shouldn't stay here much longer. But a few more minutes wouldn't hurt. Oh yes. Pig killing day, that were a big day. I mean, you used to have to get a specialist from the village to come and kill the pig, and it used to take about 3 or 4 men to hold it down on the bench, but killing it, that was a specialist job. And they used to cut its throat and collect the blood and use it to make, black pudding and that sort of thing. And they used to carry big buckets of hot water, and they used to use a sort of a sharp knife or a razor to shave all the hairs off. And they used to put it in a big wheelbarrow and take it down Furnace Lane, because it were a big thing. Yeah, big pigs in them days. And then used to take it down Slacky Lane and used to hang it up in someone's house and carve it up. Oh, it were a bedlam when they killed a pig. I used to love it. And there were about 6 pigsties, but I only remember 3 ever having pigs in them. And, the kids, we'd use the others as dens, and, they weren't mucky at all. They were whitewashed with clean straw, so they made good dens. Oh, who's left this hat here? Oh, I wonder who it belongs to. I Could try it on. Oh, no, it feels a bit small. Probably looks like I've got a cake on my head. Where was I? Oh yes, I was talking about the pigsties and when we were kids. It's just like the lime kilns, really. Do you know them? Oh, they're still there. Oh, we used to play amongst them as kids. And used to get caught in couples and they'd lie underneath and we'd lie on top, you know, on top listening to what were going on. Do you remember Riley? Oh, of course, you don't know who Riley is, but he used to be courting this young lady and he'd be underneath and we'd be on top listening to what were going on and he could hear us giggling and he'd come up and he'd say, right, and we'd run off across the spinney. But, he never used to catch us because we knew the spinney better than he did. But he used to get so mad because he were courting this young lady in them holes and, we used to run off across to the crescent. Oh, they've all tumbled down now, haven't they? Yeah. Even the crescent's gone now.
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
Where did you spring from? You gave me a start. You know, you shouldn't be in here, you know. Oh, I suppose neither should I. Suppose I should go.
Mum, there is a lady in there. Come and look.
Oh, there's nobody in here, Amy. Nobody at all. Come on, let's go to the museum. Bye, love.